Week 3 of the NFL, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Broncos and the Dolphins. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Injuries overshadowed a great season from Tua last season. He led a Miami passing game that was one of the best in the league, and even more importantly, took them to the postseason for the first time in 6 years. That jump they were looking for from him, it absolutely occurred.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ready.
Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. But you look at this Bronco defense, they're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 28 yards there and give them the first down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
All right, come on.
He's got a man wide open, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Still 1st down.
Ready.
Play action. Now it's Tua. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Dolphins at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Hill going to go in motion right. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
What's the deal, y'all?
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Play.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Steps away to his left. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage.
All right, let's go.
But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the right hash, this from 33. Gano's kick is good, and the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his 2nd season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now the 3rd-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Williams a week ago, 19 carries, 64 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
And the Broncos 1st down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. On the counter, here's Williams. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Looking to throw. Wilson. And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Gano the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. The run on third and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance even in a long yardage situation to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Here's Hill on the return. Returns the punt 61 yards. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Gano now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play action. It's Wilson. In trouble, and he's taken down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
The last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with our avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team.
You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Gano for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. This is caught out in the right flank. And did he get the football to break the play? No, he did not. They'll say he's out of bounds shy of the goal line, and they'll be denied on the 2-point conversion. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Now Wilson on second down. And that is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Zay Flowers, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington Commanders at home at FedEx Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Sam Howell. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead. Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call of the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They go play action with Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Back to throw. Wilson. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, They're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Tua now on first down. Tyreek Hill. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They fake the handoff, now Tua. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They begin the drive with Williams. Shoves him away. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now Wilson on first down. Pressure comes and down he goes. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And Mostert going to pick up a Dolphins first down as a tackle made at the 18. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Mostert. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Baron Browning, the one who brought him down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Here's a 2nd and 8. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 2nd down.
All right, let's go. Ready?
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. Fights through, and now a crease. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
All right, let's go. Out.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what?
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the... Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Forced out to his left.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Throwing is Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Justin Houston able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Now Hill to return it. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.